What's going on, world? DS1 Ross, and I'm back. Shout out to everybody. Appreciate all the love and the support that y'all give me, that y'all give Sheep Stay Sleep TV. It's very much appreciated. Much love to y'all. Thanks to everybody who's been tuning in to the Black History Month series of 2019. Y'all let me know, you know, how y'all feel about it so far. You know, y'all let me know how y'all been feeling about it. Because that's very much important to me too. So tonight I'm gonna bring another black historian to us, someone that is not mentioned, someone who's glossed over, and it's another black woman. Her name is Dr. Joy Degruy Leary. Dr. Joy Degruy Leary. And I chose her because she speaks to something that, a lot of us speak on in Black YouTube, PTSD, something that's not seen to be as serious of a matter as it really is. PTSD is something that is plaguing America's society, and people really don't see it. But the way this sister breaks it down, man, I love it. I love to just hear her speak. And she's very attractive also. On top of that, she's a cute woman, you know. So we're gonna get into Dr. Joy DeGruy. We're gonna get into her life. If y'all want to check out her PTSD lecture, her world renowned lecture, the link is in the description. Shout out to everybody in the chat. I'll be coming to the chat when I'm done with my dissertation. I appreciate all of y'all. And without further ado, Dr. Joy DeGruy. Dr. Joy DeGruy is a nationally and internationally renowned researcher, educator, author, and presenter. She's nationally and internationally known. So she's known around the world as a renowned researcher, educator, author, and presenter. Her seminars have been lauded as the most dynamic and inspirational currently being presented on the topics of culture, race relations, and contemporary social issues. She is a tell it like it is ambassador for healing and a voice for those who've struggled in search of the past and continue to struggle through the present. So, like my brother JT created a series on the voiceless ones, she speaks for the voiceless ones. She speaks for those who are afraid to speak up, who feel like they're not good enough because of what they've been through. And she's doing this because she's a ambassador for healing. And y'all know my motto, we got to heal before we build. You see? See, I learned a lot when I first got into Dr. Joy Degruy because when I listened to her presentation, I realized that the way she was depicting things, and if y'all go and watch um her seminar that she's done, the link is in the description. She made me realize that we had to heal before we build. It was her who made me realize this. Understand that. Because she broke down why us as a people cannot get things together. And she went to the root of the problem. And the root of that problem is trauma, like you always hear me say. So let's continue. She is a tell it like it is ambassador for healing and a voice for those who struggled in search of the past and continue to struggle through the present. Dr. Joy Degruy is the author of the groundbreaking book, Post Traumatic Slave Syndrome, America's Legacy of Enduring Injury and Healing, which addresses the residual impacts of trauma on African descendants in the Americas. Post traumatic slave syndrome lays the groundwork for understanding how the past has influenced the present. Let me read that again. How the past has influenced the present. You see why I say we got to heal before we build? The past influenced the present. This is why Jay-Z say you was who you was before you got here. You see? The past, how the past has influenced the present. So so we like to always ask ourselves, why can't we build the things that we want to? Because we haven't healed from the past. We haven't took the proper steps to heal from the past. Because if we don't heal certain things within us, like I always say, we're going to continue to be destructive to one another. This is why we are destructive to one another and not constructive. You got to clear some things out of your mind and out of your heart, out of your spirit. This is what we have to do as a collective before we can actually do something. It's either going to take that or it's going to take us having to go back to the time of oppression, of like I'm not even going to say oppression because we still under oppression. I'm going to say slavery, actual chattel slavery. It's going to have to either be something, an extremely bad event for us to want to make the proper steps so we can unify in order to build, or it's going to take us healing. And I agree more with that approach. We have to heal from things we've been through in our lives. so we can be better for the next person. That way we can actually build and get things done and stop wasting so much time. Post traumatic slave syndrome lays the groundwork for understanding how the past has influenced the present and opens up the discussion of how we can use the strengths we have gained to heal. The book incorporates her research in both America and Africa, as well as her 20 years of experience as a social work practitioner and consultant to public and private organizations. In the book and in her presentations, Dr. Degruy examines the conditions that led to the Atlantic slave trade and allowed the pursuant racism and efforts at repression to continue through present day. She then looks at the seemingly insurmountable obstacles that African Americans faced as a result of the slave trade. Next, she discusses the adaptive behaviors they've developed. That's key. She discusses the adaptive behaviors. People adapt to their environment. See, this is just biological for people. We adapt to our environment. So it's not about wanting to be there or wanting to act like, because I hear a lot of people, try to down people from coming from the hood and being in the hood. But we was put in the hood. The ghetto was created. So what we did, what anybody would do, was adapt. And when you adapt to your environment, you adopt certain behaviors. Certain behaviors are developed in order for you to survive. Okay? That's called nature. Just like how you're finding animals in certain habitats that they're not used to being in, but they're living there now. How do you think they're living there and surviving and having children there? And you have new forms of creatures in certain environments because everything adapts to the environment. You adapt. That's nature. Because guess what? If you don't adapt, you what? You die. If you don't adapt, you die. Next, she discusses the adaptive behaviors they developed, both positive and negative, that allow them to survive, and often even thrive. Dr. Degruy concludes by reevaluating those adaptive behaviors that have been passed down through generations. She explores replacing behaviors which are today maladaptive with ones that will promote and sustain the healing and ensure the advancement of African American culture. God damn, if that ain't heal before we build. So she's basically saying what I've been saying in my own way. Me and Dr. Joy DeGruy are in alignment. Because what she's saying is if we don't take, if we don't change certain behaviors in order to adapt to the environment now, in order for us to heal, we won't be able to build. We wouldn't be able to advance as a people. Our culture would never advance in the world. Dr. DeGrew's post-traumatic slave syndrome, the study guide revisits the topic she covers in post-traumatic slavery syndrome and provides a detailed mapping of how one can begin to change process in your personal life, employment, family, and in your community. She illustrates how, with thoughtful self exploration, each of us can evaluate our behaviors and replace negative and damaging behaviors with those that will promote, ensure, and sustain the healing and advancement of African Americans. So, healing comes through what? Thoughtful self exploration, she says. Thoughtful self exploration, where you evaluate your behaviors. So, you have to admit first that you have a problem. And then you have to figure out what you've been doing to keep perpetuating the problem and then replace those behaviors with behaviors that's going to promote Black excellence, that's going to promote Black love, Black upliftment. Her clients have included academic institutions such as Oxford University, Harvard University, Columbia University, Fisk University, Smith College, Morehouse College, University of Chicago, and Portland State University, where she is currently an assistant professor. She has keynoted at a number of national conferences, including the National Conference on Race and Ethnicity in American Higher Education and the White Privilege Conference. Now, to a lot of these uh, pro-Black zealots, when they hear that, oh, she's a sellout. She went to the racist institutions. She's a sellout. you you know how the pro-Black zealots are. Soon as our people go inside the system and try to make change, we sold out. They paid her. She's a sellout. You come on. This is why we just got to get far away from that, because that's holding us back. That pro-Black garbage. And let's read that again. Her clients, her clients have included academic institutions such as Oxford University, Harvard University, Columbia University. These are Ivy League schools, by the way. Ivy League and HBCUs. Okay? So she's at the top of the top. Columbia University, Oxford University, Harvard University, Fisk University, Smith College, Morehouse College, the University of Chicago, and Portland State University, where she is currently an assistant professor. She has keynoted at a number of national conferences, including the National Conference on Race and Ethnicity in American Higher Education. So she spoke at a national conference that spoke on the affairs of race and ethnicity that goes on in these educational institutions. And she spoke at the white privilege conference. Hmm. Dr. Joy Degruy has also presented to federal and state agencies such as the FBI, probation and parole agencies, juvenile justice judges association, and police agencies. Major corporations and companies such as Nordstrom, Nike, the NBA Rookies Camp, and the renowned GCAP program all have experienced Dr. Joy's expertise and charisma. A highly sought after expert. Do you hear what they're calling her? She's a highly sought after expert, a black woman. A black woman. That's not a feminist, a black woman who speaks on the affairs of black people, who speaks on why we can't get things right, the inception of it, and what created what we see now when we deal with black people. This is what this woman talks about. And she even teaches white folks this and tells them that they have created this experience that black people have today. So she's a highly sought after expert. She has appeared on CNN, ABC, NPR, Pacifica Network stations nationwide, and in the New York Times, the Essence magazine, the Journal of Black Psychology, as well as numerous other publications. Dr. Joy Degruy holds a bachelor's of science degree in communications, two master's degrees in social work and psychology, and a PhD in social work research. With over 20 years of practical experience as a professor in the field of social work, she gives a practical insight into various cultural and ethnic groups that form the basis of contemporary American society. Now, if that's not a powerful black woman, powerful black woman. So, to all my black women out there, please stop feeling powerless, especially if you know you got something to offer. Please use the examples of Dr. Joy Degruy. Use the examples of your Fannie Lou Hamers, your Ida B. Wells. This is why I do this, family. I appreciate all y'all, man. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Let me see what's going on in this chat room. I'm gonna shout everybody out. Shout out to my bro, Kenneth Nash, my bad. Go ahead and give you a wrench, bro. Remy Scott Cartier, I appreciate you. Thanks for tuning in. Happy Black History Month to you too. Shout out to my big bro JT. I appreciate you. Peace to my brother Rob, the educator in our community. Shout out to my brother Muhammad is the one. Shout out to my brother Muhammad. Like I said, I hope you feeling much better, bro. See who else in here. Shout out to Old Reliable. Shout out to my sis Eunice Outland. It's always a pleasure. Peace and love to you. Shout out to my brother Gab. And shout out to everybody who's watching. Everybody who's gonna watch. I appreciate it. Make sure y'all go and watch the post-traumatic slavery disorder lecture. It's about an hour and a half, but it's epic. It's something that y'all have to see. The link is in the description. Y'all go and check it out. The link is in the description. Always a lady. Welcome. Good evening to you, and thanks for tuning in. Shout out to my fam, Hills In. I appreciate you, fam. But y'all make sure y'all go and check out this lecture. She breaking down some powerful things, family. Make sure y'all go and check that out. Dr. Joy Degruy, y'all. No doubt, fam. Like I said, the link is in the description. So y'all go check that out. And I appreciate y'all for tuning in. Do me a favor, if you haven't yet, please like the stream, share this stream. Also, if you haven't yet, go ahead and subscribe, hit that notification bell so you can get all my updates when I'm live or whenever I drop any content. Much love to y'all, man. I appreciate all the support. I appreciate all the love. This is your host, DS1 Ross of Sheep Stay Sleep TV. And remember, we got to heal before we build. You have to heal before we build. This is Dr. Joy Degruy of the Black History Month series of 2019. I will be back tomorrow, family, with two more historians for y'all. So y'all stay tuned for that. And if you haven't yet, go to my playlist section of my channel. Check out Black History Month series of 2017 and 2018. Check that out and get in tune with this series. Like I said, I appreciate all of y'all again for tuning in. And you right, bro. If you don't adapt, you will die. So I appreciate y'all once again, and I'll be back tomorrow. Y'all have a good night. Peace.